thank you for joining us for another video. So today we're going to look at the 7 traits of animal abusers, and we're also going to start by looking at a definition of what animal cruelty is. So what is animal cruelty? It can be described as a socially unacceptable behaviour that intentionally causes unnecessary pain, suffering or distress to and/or the death of an animal. And you might be wondering about prevalence rates. So in 2016, which isn't too long ago, there was approximately 150,000 animal cruelty complaints which were investigated, and in 2017 this went down slightly to 140,000. From these complaints, they resulted in almost 1,500 convictions, so there is a less than 1% conviction rate. Now let's break down the abuser characteristics. Firstly, gender. It can be seen that males are more likely to engage in animal cruelty than females, in a 1:10 ratio of women to men. Secondly, age. Late adolescence and early childhood are the most typical perpetrators, although this may be the result of poor environments, which then lead to children harming animals. Thirdly, witnesses of violence and animal cruelty. This can be through the learning effect. If you witness cruelty, you are more likely to engage in it yourself through social learning theory. Young people are 3 times more likely to harm animals if they witness family members doing the same, or violence between family members, and this is due to the normalisation of violence. 4. Family and parenting experiences. There is a significant relationship between experiencing of abuse in childhood and engagement in animal cruelty. Animals are used as an outlook for aggression, which is to allow someone to let out their frustration or aggression, and this is through their abuse. Number 5, displacement of aggression. Abusers try and get back at someone else, often displacing aggression from humans to animals. For example, it is easier for a child to abuse an animal than retaliate to their own bully or abuser. Humans are often too big, and therefore it's easier to overpower the animals which are vulnerable. Number 6, cognitive errors, aggressive cues, and exposure to violence. Hostile attribution bias suggests that there are moral disengagement strategies at play. This is where one could perceive an aggressive act as personal. For example, a slobbery dog is gross and therefore it deserves harm. People here are more impulsive, highly hostile, and they often interpret neutral acts as hostile towards themselves. And moral disengagement strategies allow them to justify their behaviour. And lastly, number 7, empathy and emotion regulation. An animal abuser will typically have low empathy, both for humans and animals, and can even have an empathy defect. Kavanagh et al. In 2013 said that psychopathy, or empathy deficit, leads to the belief that animals can't feel, which makes it easier to abuse them due to a lack of remorse. Alternatively, there could also be a burst or an impulsive nature to quickly harm an animal. And this could be due to overregulation of trying not to harm, but they see the reason to, and they ruminate and think over this thought again and again. And then some trigger causes them to flip. Contrary to this, they could be strategically planning an attack. So it could be both an impulse but also a very planned strategic move. Hope you guys have learned something interesting about the animal abuser characteristics and some of the thoughts behind why anyone would harm an animal.